Hello, Millennials, Zoomers, and Gen Xers. Have you ever wondered why Boomers are still rattling around in their McMansion like it's 1985? Have you wondered why Grandpa is clinging to that 4-bedroom bungalow like it's the last piece of toast? It's not just nostalgia. It's the IRS sinking their teeth into their retirement dreams with capital gains taxes.
Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Watch the news, book a cruise, NB shoes. That's what they do. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Today we're diving into how boomers are getting royally screwed when they try to sell their homes and downsize. We're going to break down the tax trap, spotlight the best and worst states to sell in, drop some jaw-dropping stats, and a couple of hilarious and horrifying stories. So stick around, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1 million subs by Christmas. You got to understand, when boomers bought their homes back in the 70s and 80s, it was peanuts. It was like 50 grand for a house. And they've just, over time, they've watched that home value explode. Since 1997, the median home prices went from 147 grand to about 420 grand. They're ready to downsize. They want to move into a cozy condo or a tiny apartment or maybe even the RV life. But bam, capital gains are going to hit on those profits, over $250K for singles and over $500K for couples. Now, I know what you're thinking. If they make a huge profit, they should just pay the capital gains tax and be happy. But listen, these boomers didn't eat Campbell's soup for lunch for the last 40 years just so they could end up blowing a bunch of money on taxes right before they go in that pine box.
Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Watch the news, book a cruise, NB shoes. That's what they do. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomers gonna boom, 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 boom. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Let's hit the numbers here because facts don't lie. Redfin says empty nest boomers own twice as many big homes, this is 3 or more bedrooms, as millennial parents with kids. You've got families with 2-3 kids squeezed, jammed into a 1,200 square foot house, while you got boomers in 2,500 square foot house. A Moody's report estimates nearly 6 million older Americans are stuck in oversized houses they don't need. Wow. And get this, 54% of boomers have zero plans to sell ever. It's like that Charlton Heston quote there. You can have my house key when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. Now, he was talking about something else, but you get the point. You get the point. So what's going on is first-time home buyers, the average age is 38, the oldest ever. What happened to this silver tsunami? There was supposed to be this huge wave of boomers all offloading their houses at the same time called the silver tsunami, which never came, hasn't come. It's more like a dam instead of a tsunami. It's like a dam. It's just holding back all these houses. Now, obviously, geography matters if you want to minimize the pain. There's some states that have zero because in addition to the Fed tax, 0 to 20%, a lot of the states pile on. But there are some states, as of 2025, there are some states that have zero capital gains tax. That's Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wyoming, and recently added to the list is Missouri. But on the flip side, you got California tops the villain list with 13.3% state rate And you have New York, 10.9, New Jersey, 10.75, Oregon, 9.9, and Minnesota at 9.85%. And again, these are all in addition to that Fed rate. So you could be paying upwards of into the 30% total. I saw this story here. There was a boomer couple in California that the house value had went up $1.9 million, and they were looking at a $450,000 tax bill. That's insane. And then there was another couple that was in their 70s that had bought a big piece of land for chump change, and the value $4.5 million. They were looking at an $800,000 tax bill. And that's just crazy. So boomers, like I said, they're kind of tax strapped. They've been penny pinching their whole life. They don't want to blow a bunch of money at the end of their life when they're trying to downsize. Now, there is talk of Trump and maybe a bipartisan bill of reducing or eliminating this kind of capital gains tax. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. I'm not really worried. I think these boomers are going to figure it out. They're one of the smartest generations of all time. Now, I know they did think margarine was healthier than butter, but, big deal. They got one thing wrong. Big deal. Oh, they did also, I think they put Fruit Loops on the food pyramid. I think they put cereals and Fruit Loops on the food pyramid, so there was that. And the last thing, I almost forgot. They did 88% of boomers circumcise their kids. Let me finish. For no reason. For no reason. Yeah, you want to hear a person stutter. Ask a boomer why they circumcise their kids. They're going to say, something about a locker room. Something about a locker room. It was just the thing people were doing. It was the thing. But you got to understand, during the boomer era, when the boomers were all having kids, the medical understanding was that babies feel no pain. I mean, that's how bright we're talking here. So they'll figure it out, Like I said, in general, one of the smartest generations. They had a few hiccups on some things they didn't get, but that happens to all of us. All right, hit the like. Check you later. Bye-bye.
Boomer's gonna boom, 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 boom. Watch the news, book a cruise, NB shoes. That's what they do. Boomer's gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomer's gonna boom, 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 boom. Boomer's gonna boom, 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 boom. That's what they do. That's what they do.